Bow, 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 tick, bow, 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 wow, wow, bow, bow, boom, boom, boom. I've seen your picture, do your name in lights above it. This is your big debut. It sure looks good on you. And when you smile for the camera, I know you're gonna love it. Boom, boom, boom. I got your pin shot. I keep it with your letter. Boom, 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 boom. Done up in blueprint blue. Do, do, do. It sure looks good on you. Do, 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 do. So when you smile for the camera, boom, boom, I know I love you better. Boom, boom, boom. Peg, it will come back to you. Peg, it will come back to you. Peg, the shutter falls. You see it all 3D. It's your favorite foreign movie. Doom, do, do, do. Hey guys, so 150 here with a little Steely Dan and Peg. Man, that guy, he sure sings high. I am not a falsetto. I can't do a lot of the baritone stuff or a lot of the falsetto stuff. I'm mainly a bass. I sing bass stuff, but I like to try to croon the old songs and some of the semi-disco, some of the semi-pop songs and whatnot. Anyway, that's really not why we're here. This is what you guys have to pay. See, I don't have any ads and stuff on the Still 5150 channel. I have me singing, which is what you have to pay if you want to listen to what I got to say. Which, I ain't saying nothing you guys haven't heard before, but I'm telling you, it's just good to be a stacker. It's good to be a stacker. We've seen some dark times, we've seen some bright times, but this is a time where we're starting to see consistent brightness. Now, it's not much day by day. Day by day, we see a little bit of lift in the markets. We see a little bit of life in the prices and stuff. We see silver closing the gold-silver ratio, which is a very good sign. It's a bullish sign for silver and gold, by the way. So it's not, it's not a bad thing that gold is not performing as well as silver. It's actually a good thing because they're both going to end up benefiting off each other. It's almost like a game of leapfrog. So this morning we talked about our favorite Korean warlord, South Korean warlord, Cheon-wang. And I've got this roll here from JM Bullion. Finally, I showed you the roll this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tube. There it is from Comsco. Okay, they're Minting Corporation. They're in Korea. They make a very nice. This thing here, man, it is so well minted. You can feel it in the craftsmanship, and you can tell by how thick and how heavy and how grippy it is. It's just very deliberate. It's a very well-built coin. It's an overbuilt coin designed to be transacted, designed to be spent. And if you guys know me, you know that's what I do. I spend. Well, I plan on spending, and I've spent some actually. My silver as money because that's what the intent was, is for it to be money. All right. Here I got a little special treat for you. This is actually from Somali Mint. All right. Through Geiger. I think Geiger mints these, or the Austrian mint. And these are 49 silver. These are actually. Let's see if we can get a good look at these. These are actually the 10th ounce Somali elephants. I don't know if you can see the seal back there. Let's see if we can get the elephant. And look at the toning on that, by the way. Notice how it's kind of toned? I don't know what angle we're looking at there because these things, they're wrapped in paper. So if you don't have rolls of these Somali elephants from the Wildlife series, okay, that's what they would look like if you got them in rolls. JM Bullion had these for sale back in 2018. And the broker, God bless the broker. The broker is such a shopping badass, and too bad he's retired now. But anyway, yes, he turned us on to these, and he wasn't even able to get in on action, but I went buck wild. I bought 250 of these, so there's 50 in a roll. All right, and at the time, JM Bullion had them for about $2.50 a piece, so you can do the math. Not cheap. But nowadays, if you try to get them, I've seen them go anywhere from $7 to $15 on eBay. That doesn't mean much. It's just another barometer we use to try to figure out, where the energy is in silver and where the actual, spot price should be. But we don't know that. All right, so what do we have today? We had the markets. It was a battle royale. If you guys were listening to me this morning, I watched the futures last night, and I watched gold and silver really put the pound down on stocks. Stocks were in the deep red last night. And of course, Steve Mnuchin came out, as Bix Ware says, click this mouse and reverso. Here comes green shoots for the stock market. And then metals are all of a sudden struggling. So guys, that stimulus money they have, the $20 trillion or 20 some trillion dollars they've spent over the last 3 or 4 months, is not just to prop stocks up, but it's also to create phony paper contracts and keep the price of gold and silver down, and other precious metals too, to keep them from popping out and being the most noticeable investment ahead of cryptocurrencies, ahead of stocks. And so you're thinking that, you don't want to be in there anymore. You want to come over to where the paper assets are and leave your precious metals behind. Well, we're not going to do that. We don't do that here. We are stackers, and we are staying for the course, because that's what we do. We are loyal to our investment vehicle. All right, so gold did close above $1,750 today. That's a very big deal. That's a very big deal, because that right there gets a lot of notice. And when people notice an investment getting kind of hot, the momentum, chasers, the, fear of missing out, or they like to call the FOMO people, they will start coming into this market. And silver didn't do too bad today. Silver got close as damn it to the old resistance of 1888. I remember, because that was the price when I first came in. 1888, and it got up to like 1884 today. So not too bad, and actually is up a little bit in futures trading. So it looks like tonight we're going to get some good action in metals, and is going to break through more of these resistance barriers, which is what we need to do. We need to do this. There's nothing we can do about the prices, the retail prices, the premiums. They're going to come. We're going to have to outshop those obstacles. But in terms of the silver and the gold starting to revalue and head to true price discovery, we need that, guys. We need that. This is 140 years of manipulation in silver, God knows how long in gold. And these metals need to show everybody that they are supposed to be money, not all the other stuff they got out there and everything, which, is currency, but not money. All right, so there's a battle between, central banks and governments versus gold and silver. Gold and silver are always trying to assert themselves as the global currency, all right? And when we try to find out what these things are worth, we're usually we have to resort to alternative mediums like the debt clock and portfolio tools and all this stuff to get indicators on what the real demand for the metal is and what the real pricing schedule should be and all this stuff. But we don't want things to go completely kablooey yet. We want to wait until we get enough in our stack, and then the prices can go kablooey, right? That's what you want. You always want to get the investment as low as you can get it, as much as you can get of it, and then let it go, sky high to the moon. So don't be discouraged by what you're seeing in the markets and the manipulations and all that stuff. This is great, because when you see the gold and silver tickers, if you watch on investing.com or Bloomberg or Yahoo or anywhere, watch those things gyrating around. Like last night, the metals markets were all over the place because they were battling between phony contracts being dumped into them and them wanting to reach true price discovery. That's what you're seeing when you see the metals markets gyrating around that. So that's okay. That's right. So things are going to be unstable for a while, but I just think they're ready to blow the lid on this phony paper market. So, speaking of which, the phony paper market, I love a quote I heard, and this is going to be the quote of the day, guys. Get ready for the quote of the day. This comes from Teenage Stacker. I think he's up north in great Canada. All right, and he's the new Stacker channel I've been checking out and stuff. This Teenage Stacker, if he's indeed a teenager, he is old in the soul and well beyond his years, because he really knows some stuff about precious metals and why to invest. But his quote is this: I have a lot of different investments, but I buy gold because it's the safest thing I can do right now. That hit me like a sledgehammer in the chest. I mean, think about that. You got a teenage stacker out there. Teen Stacker, I know you're out there. I appreciate you listening. Welcome to the family. I think you've been around for a while, but guys, check him out if you get a chance. He's got some great stuff to look at and a great message. He's talking the talk we talk, because he's walking the walk we walk. But yes, I have a lot of different investments, but I buy gold because it's the safest thing I can do right now. And it is. I love it. It is the safest thing you can do right now. Gold and silver have always been the safest asset class in the world, period. When it comes to assets, they're the safest asset class in the world, and they're about to become, ready guys, the most lucrative asset class in the world. That's right. Gold and silver, which is the safest asset class in the world, is about to outperform everything out there by miles and leaps and bounds. That includes cryptocurrencies and all that. Somebody asked me, it's like, what's your problem with cryptocurrencies? I don't have a problem with cryptocurrencies, but I told you before, my plan is to use silver to buy everything that is in deflation, that is in a depression, whether it's real estate, stocks, blue chip companies, certain types of municipal bonds, businesses, real estate, commercial real estate, all that stuff, and cryptocurrencies, because I think cryptocurrencies are going to bounce around and change in their different kind of iterations. And I think that governments are going to, have their own versions of it, and I think that relative to silver, Bitcoin is actually going to underperform. And that's when I want to pounce on something like Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's going to be the cryptocurrency out there, and I'm not a fan of cryptocurrencies, but I find it has some convenience and is useful as a financial tool, I will get some. But until then, I don't see the need to do it. I've got the vehicle that I need to get everything I'm going to get. So when Bitcoin and silver are 1-to-1 parity, did I just say that? I'm going to get so Bitcoin tonight. The cryptocurrency people are going to come after me. That's okay. When silver and Bitcoin get 1-to-1 parity, which maybe close is good enough, then I'll get some Bitcoin. Okay? How about that? I'm going to do that. All right. But yeah, right now, these are the safest asset classes. Even your cryptos, even though they're well encrypted and they're great ledgers, for the internet, and, they are the, future in terms of transacting, I think they still need something to back it. They still need something to back them, like precious metals. That's a perfect combination, a match made in heaven. All right, so moving right along. We know that we're making the best decision in our investing, insuring, and savings by choosing gold and silver. It's just no question about it. Just no question about it. They're the best thing out there. But we're going to get to that later. We're going to talk about the Q3 numbers when we return. We're going to have a look at the Q3 projections, the numbers I was talking about this morning coming out in July. It's going to shine like a laser on the economy for the remainder of the year. And now, guys, a word from our sponsor. Hi, I'm Brodor from Silver Century Security. Since 2021, we've been providing you with your security needs. We pride ourselves in our 6-star service and our one-stop shopping business model. From personal security to nanny services to catering and to wedding planning, Silver Century offers full spectrum safe environments for that special event. Shady characters frequenting the neighborhood? Silver Century's patented InvisiWatch shock teams remove potential threats unbeknownst to nosy bystanders. Live in an area with occasional drive-by? Silver Century has that covered with skilled craftsmen that can up-armor any dwelling or vehicle to withstand level 5 hostilities with little change in appearance. For something more personal, please visit our tailors at the latest La Petite Design Dyneema line fashions. At Silver Century, we want to make sure that you and your family feel safe all the time and anywhere. We're licensed and insured and extend very special discounts to our members of the Silver Society. So give us a call today and allow us a chance to earn your business. And remember, if it ain't Silver Century, it ain't security. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, we're back, guys. We're back. And man, isn't that Silver Century something? I'm telling you, they're going to be covering everything when they're going to be giving that 6-star service here in the future. All right, guys, have a little fun there with our sponsorship. We're starting to create these businesses, and we're going to talk about them. All right, we're back. All right, and we're going to have a little fun with Q3 numbers. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So if you guys don't know what Q3 numbers are the same as Q1 and Q2 numbers. These are numbers that come out for the quarters that are in the past, say, January through March. That's quarter one. April through June, that is quarter two. And in July, those numbers come out. And for quarter one, in April, those numbers come out. So July is going to tell us a story about how much actual economic damage has been done in the last 6 months. Not just the first quarter or the second quarter, but the last 6 months. And I'm telling you, they spent some $20 trillion, propping up the markets and keeping things from going underwater here in the second quarter for the first quarter. So they were able to paper over a lot of the damage and make it look like the stock markets weren't doing that bad, because we recovered what? We were up to 29,000 in the Dow, and then we got down to 18,000, back up to 24. So that's more than a 50% retracement on the markets. But at the same time, it's not the old highs, and I don't think we're going to get to the old highs unless they're willing to spend a lot more money. All right? So, quarterly numbers, they basically consist of gross domestic product, which is what a country produces in a year. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be oil, food, corn, clothes. It doesn't matter. It is the total production output of a country in a 3-month period. That is the quarterly GDP for a country, gross domestic product. Durable goods orders are the dollar amount of stuff that's ordered to make the things that are going to create the GDP in a country. So those are durable goods. That's something else that the quarterly numbers consist of. And then there's these earning reports out there. Earnings reports. Now we're going to get a little bit into the stock market here. So for the earnings reports, they basically take the quarterly earnings of a big company like Amazon or Alphabet or Procter & Gamble, Philip Morris, take your pick. And they take those numbers, quarterly earnings, and they parse them against what their liabilities and their costs are to see how much in profit they are. Well, it used to be they had a system, well, they still have it called the price earnings ratio or the PE ratio, price to earnings ratio, where a company would basically tell you what their value was versus what they make. Okay. And the valuations used to be something like, the price of a stock compared to what they earn would be something like, 16 to 1 or something like that. But now we've got these crazy, crazy price to earnings ratios that are something on the order of, 72 to 1. Like I think Uber is like, 113 to 1, which means they're hardly making any money versus their costs. But because they've got other companies backing them or they've got, funding coming in from somewhere, they're able to survive and look like they're actually viable companies. No bueno. So you got the GDP growth, which is gross domestic product, durable goods, earnings reports. Okay. Last quarter, we were 5% in the negative. And if you guys don't think that's too bad, consider that anytime that we were 2.3% or lower in the positive, the stock market would tumble. All right. And it would just make a mess of things for probably a couple of weeks until, people, got done selling and then the market would try to crawl its way back up again. But we're talking about, 7 basis points lower now, negative 5%, GDP. And, durable goods is about the same, negative 5%. These usually run together. Earnings reports, they're always going to be dishonest about those. So who knows, what kind of numbers are going to give coming in the Q3 report in July. So July, first part of July is when we're looking for this report. We're looking to see what it's going to reveal to us as far as the damage in the global economy. I always talk in terms of the United States economy because we put out these numbers and everybody's supposed to use us as a barometer, but I'm sure there's stuff going on in your neck of the woods, guys. Please leave your comments down below if you see, repressive or depressive, job activity. You've noticed a change in your neighborhoods, noticed a change in your stores, places are closing, commercial property is just sitting open and nobody's buying it, anything like that, and you see that your city's kind of slowing down, or your town's kind of slowing down. Put that in the comments below so we can get, kind of a global pulse on just, how the malaise is starting to work its way in. We're not concerned about that as much because we're preparing for this kind of tail risk. We're preparing for economic slowdown. We're preparing for deflation and preparing for hyperinflation, all in this one investment. See, that's why I told people a long time ago, if you watch my older videos, that silver and gold, they're the laziest investment out there. They're the laziest investment vehicles out there because all you have to do is buy them and hold them in your possession. Now, I know I have some over in depository and stuff, but I have enough in my possession to get through pretty much anything. But this is, this is what it gives us. Gold and silver are that lazy investment that covers so many bases and covers so many types of insurance. And, it gives us the ability to function, once things turn upside down. And that's the whole idea. So anyway, as we come into the Q3 report or the Q2 report for the first half of the year in July, I am intrigued. I am interested to see how much money they're going to throw. Throw money at it. The money catapult. The money catapult's broken. We threw too much money. Build another one and bigger this time to throw more money. Because that's been their MO. That's been the way they've been operating. These central banks in these countries been throwing money at the problems and not even doing a good job of it. Like the stimulus in the United States, which we can't complain because we're getting stimulus, but it hasn't been very, consistent. People are getting it. Some people aren't getting it. Some people are getting too much. One guy in Minnesota ended up getting like $8.3 million as an account, from the United States Treasury. And then he went and said something, which is probably a good idea because they have an enforcement division. Getting off the tangent here. But anyway, we are looking for deep cratering, impactful numbers coming into, this third quarter, this second quarter GDP report. I think we're going to see, instead of negative 5% GDP and negative 5% durable goods, we're going to see something like negative teens, 13, 15, 18% negative gross, production, period, across the globe. And it's going to be, I don't see how they can actually throw enough money to keep people from fleeing for the tall grass. And by the tall grass, I mean leaving paper assets, coming into precious metals. And guys, you see how fast this stuff is leaving the shelves. You see how hard it is to get stuff. Why in the hell would a Somali dime, a 1/10 ounce silver coin, be resold from $2.50 just 2 years ago to $7 on eBay? If we don't have crazy inflation coming in, if we don't have economic failure coming in, if silver and gold are not able to act as the fire alarms to bad economic activity that's on the way. That's what silver and gold are, by the way. They are the fire alarms in your home, or in this case, our economy, that are supposed to tell us when things are going bad, and we position ourselves accordingly. But no, these governments and central banks, they've pulled the batteries out of the fire alarms, so we are not supposed to know if things are going bad by keeping the stock market up, keeping precious metals down. It is such a bogus game. All right, but I think I'm getting off on my little little angry crazy trade, so I'm gonna avoid that. But anyway, guys, I know I say that 4 ounces to your name, keeps you 99% ahead of the game. But I'm telling you right now, you need to be getting all you can. That's all you can reasonably. I'm not going to say go out and sell your house or anything like that, like people did for Bitcoin. But just up your posture a little bit, up your sense of urgency. I don't like to create any panic. Nobody likes to yell fire in the elevator. But look, it's time. It's time to grab what you can, as reasonably as you can, but as much as you can, because every single ounce, every tenth ounce, every gram, every quarter ounce gold, all of it, it is such an incredible receptor for bad economic energy and inflation. It is going to take what should be the greatest tragedy and turn it into your greatest opportunity. You don't want to miss that, guys. You don't want to miss that. All right, so I'm here preaching fine, and I've got the Lord here with me. We're going to continue to pray for our countrymen and pray for people to come to a sense of sanity and move on tomorrow, and hope that we see some new gains in gold and silver. I'm Silver 5150, telling you guys that your stack is not whack, and just four ounces to your name puts you 99% ahead of the game. All right, we're going to be back tomorrow with the morning update. Hopefully, we'll have some good positive news report, as far as the culture and as far as precious metals. And then tomorrow night, I'll have to figure out what the theme's going to be. But thank you guys for joining me again. As always, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Love your comments. Comment you back throughout the day, because that's what I do. I love you guys' comments. And let's see if we can go out there and get some more cheap silver. All right? Keep stacking, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Later.